of every version of boyfriend and girlfriend that has been introduced in the FNF. Now, I want to start off with my favorite version, and that is going to be B3 boyfriend and girlfriend. And personally, I think B3 girlfriend has the deepest and most interesting backstory out of any other version of girlfriend so far. This version of girlfriend actually goes by the name Shayla, and she is a vampire that is technically 100 years old. Apparently, Daddy Dearest comes from an infamous family of vampires, and Mommy Mirrors was a human that was turned into a vampire by Daddy Dearest. Now, an interesting fact that I learned is that apparently Shayla lives in a floating castle with her family, which kind of makes sense considering that they're vampires, but there is a major issue here as well. Shayla is actually trans, and before she transitioned, she struggled with gender identity. She basically felt that she was in the wrong body, and she didn't think her parents would understand how she felt. So instead of trying to talk it out with them, she actually ended up running away to live out in the city and try to figure things out. And this is actually where she met Boyfriend by crashing into his window one night. And for those of you that haven't played this mod, Girlfriend can basically sprout these bat wings, so it's no surprise that she may have been flying one night and actually crashed into Boyfriend's window. And in reality, it was kind of a good thing that she did crash through his window, because this is actually how their relationship started. Boyfriend ended up helping Shayla with her transition and even encouraged her to go back and speak with her parent. Now, Boyfriend's backstory is a little bit more mysterious in the sense that we don't really know everything about him, but we do know that he is Korean and he lived in Korea until he was about 14 years old. Then he moved to America, learned English, and started dating Pico. The two of them stayed together until Boyfriend decided to pursue his dream of being a rapper instead of going to college, which caught my attention because it kind of implies that maybe Pico in this universe decided to go to school while Boyfriend decided not to. And another interesting fact here about Boyfriend is that his rapping style is pretty unique in this universe because he uses a mixture of English and Korean. Now, some fun facts about the B3 boyfriend and girlfriend is that Boyfriend's real name is actually Bartholomew times 3, which is why the mod is actually titled B3. And in case that doesn't make sense, his name is basically Bartholomew. Another fun fact that caught my attention is that B3 is a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and he's also best friends with Soft Boyfriend and Neo Boyfriend, both of whom will appear in this video. Now, an interesting fact about Shaya is that she's kind of a health freak, preferring to eat mostly salads and avoiding meats and junk food. But since she is a vampire, it seems that salads have a negative effect on her, making her actually really angry and grumpy. And in the mod, we actually get to see how she starts to behave when she doesn't have enough meat.
What do you mean by that?
Or I guess maybe in a way even blood. The next version of Boyfriend and Girlfriend we're going to talk about is the soft version. The soft mod is pretty old now, but it was one of the more popular mods to be added in Friday Night Funkin' ever. Boyfriend in the soft mod is named Benjamin Ferris, and he is an aspiring painter. Now, this is an issue because he comes from a family of musicians and his parents want him to follow in their footsteps. Now, this wouldn't be a big deal if his parents weren't very abusive and controlling. When you play through the mod, you can see signs that Boyfriend has been abused and even has PTSD. Father Ferris even has a line in the mod where he says, if you would just do what you were told, you wouldn't have to wear that sweatshirt all the time. You would have nothing to hide. Which, if you play through the mod, you kind of understand that Daddy Dearest was like putting out cigarettes on Boyfriend and also just maybe hitting him, leaving him with all types of bruises on his body. And another big indicator of the abuse here is when Soft Monster actually comes into the story. Soft Monster basically represents how Boyfriend sees his parents and the pain that they cause him. Luckily in this universe though, Boyfriend and Pico are dating, and Pico goes out of his way to always have Boyfriend's back, even though Boyfriend's parents do not approve. They would rather him date Girlfriend, or aka Grace. In this universe, Boyfriend and Girlfriend were basically childhood friends, and their parents planned for the two of them to get married when they came of age. So it was basically like an arranged marriage in a way. The parents wanted to make a family of super singers slash musicians. And I say singers because Mommy Mirrors and Daddy Dearest in this mod are technically famous singers. And Girlfriend is going to follow in their footsteps because she's pretty much controlled by her parents. The sad part here is that since Grace is been manipulated by her parents, they basically have made her think that she's meant to marry Boyfriend, when in reality, Boyfriend is gay and he only sees her as a friend. And I guess not just that, he sees her as his best friend. The good news here though is that Boyfriend is eventually able to stand up to his parents and live his own life the way he wants, pursue his own dreams, and he's even able to keep Girlfriend as his best friend. Now, a fun fact about this mod, the reason that I still call Grace GF is because technically her name is Grace Ferris because he took Boyfriend's last name because he thought that they were going to get married. So while it is kind of a cute fact, it's also kind of sad when you realize how it ends. Now, the next versions of Boyfriend and Girlfriend are going to be from the Saturday Night Swapping mod. Now, Girlfriend has an interesting backstory here because apparently she's basically a street kid, meaning that for whatever reason, her parents kicked her out. And while we don't get to know why Girlfriend actually got kicked out, we do know that she is considered transgender, meaning that she went from male to female. And that may be the reason that she was kicked out of the house, kind of like the B3 version of girlfriend. And it seems that she met boyfriend out in the streets when she was basically just rap battling people for fun, because unlike the original boyfriend, she doesn't want to be famous, she just kind of likes to battle people. And apparently the two of them fell in love. Now, unlike the original boyfriend and girlfriend, this duo isn't quite as affectionate as the original. I believe part of that is boyfriend isn't sure if he can come out to his parents yet. In this mod, technically Skid and Pump are adults and they are boyfriend's parents, aka both his dads. And while Pump absolutely loves girlfriend, Skid hates her. So instead of boyfriend introducing her as his girlfriend, he just calls her his friend for now. And something to clarify here is that while Skid does hate girlfriend, he doesn't necessarily hate the fact that they are friends, meaning that boyfriend and girlfriend are friends. He just doesn't want girlfriend to date his son. And we'll see later in the mod that Skid would actually go to some pretty extreme measures to keep them from dating, kind of like how Daddy Dearest did. Another thing that I find interesting is that in this universe, technically boyfriend went to the same school as Pico, meaning that he was there for the Pico school event, aka he was there when the school was attacked. And it seems that after that event, he was a bit traumatized, which makes sense. So he had a very hard time making friends. So even though Skid doesn't necessarily like girlfriend, he is happy to see that his son is actually out making connections again. The next version of boyfriend and girlfriend are going to be from the Lost Love mod, or aka the Pibified Girlfriend mod. Now, some of you probably remember this mod because it came out at the height of all the Pibby stuff. And if I'm being honest, I really wish we could get a couple of more good Pibby mods because they were some of the best mods to be brought into Friday Night Funkin', if I'm being honest. Now, this mod basically showed what happened to girlfriend after she was caught by the darkness. For people who have been following the Pibby mod since the beginning, you probably are not surprised that girlfriend is corrupted here. We all know that the corruption has taken over many worlds and consumed a ton of very powerful characters. But the way that girlfriend gets corrupted here is really tragic. When the corruption came for the Friday Night Funkin' universe, girlfriend sacrificed herself and used her power to make sure that boyfriend was protected from the corruption. Specifically, girlfriend used her ability to make sure that boyfriend couldn't be corrupted unless he loses a rap battle, which is why boyfriend is actually able to fight so effectively against the darkness. And personally, I love that they kind of painted girlfriend in a positive light here, because a lot of the mods kind of make her seem heartless, and this is one that stayed more true to the original version of girlfriend and how she feels about boyfriend. And while this mod was very short, I still think it's a good addition to this list. Now, next up, we have the Dust Monolith boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're from the Monday Dust Monolith mod, which in my opinion was very underrated. In this mod, we see that a monolith, which is basically a huge slab of stone, falls from the sky and it starts to infect all the people in the universe. It is kind of like the Pibby Darkness because it mutates people's bodies and it also takes their minds. Now in the mod, we see that boyfriend is one of the few people who doesn't end up getting corrupted because he invented this speaker belt that basically keeps the corruption at bay. Apparently the affection does not like the sound that comes from the mic or the speaker, so boyfriend is able to go unscathed. Girlfriend wasn't so lucky though, and we see that half her body basically starts to take on a demonic form, and she even starts to develop this huge mouth on her stomach. I really hope this mod gets an update because it was actually a sleeper, and I feel like they can do a lot with the lore here. Up next, we have Neo boyfriend and girlfriend, and this version of boyfriend is interesting for a few reasons. The first being that he's actually the son of Monster in this mod, although we don't know who his mother is, but we can assume that she's some type of human just because of the way that he looks. Now, a few fun facts about Neo boyfriend is that he is a Ike main in Smash Bros, and he has an interesting nickname in this mod that I probably can't say on YouTube, but if you know what it is, put it down in the comments. I didn't mention girlfriend too much in this one because nothing really changes about her here except her aesthetics. Next, we have D-side boyfriend and girlfriend, and even though this version of boyfriend looks super vicious, he is actually one of the nicest iterations of boyfriend, even though he can actually be vicious when he wants to. Now, this version of boyfriend has super sharp teeth and can basically eat anything that he wants. His favorite thing to eat is literally drywall, and he likes to wash that down with wet cement. I think he is supposed to be human in this mod, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was something else. And another reason I believe that he could be something other than human is that the dev said that if it came to hand-to-hand combat, boyfriend could basically beat up any other character in this mod. Now this is a big deal because Daddy Dearest can literally bench press a house, and to put that into perspective, the average house can weigh anywhere between 25 and 50 tons, which is crazy. And what's even crazier than that is that Mommy Mirrors can beat Daddy Dearest in an arm wrestling contest, which means that she's likely even stronger than he is. All that to say, boyfriend is super powerful in this mod. Girlfriend also has a few interesting facts about her in this mod. The first one being that she is autistic autistic, which makes her one of the only versions of girlfriends to be modded into Friday Night Funkin' that is autistic. I believe the only other one is the original girlfriend. Another interesting fact about girlfriend is that she is a gamer and she will likely beat you at any game you challenge her in because she's just that pro. And just a little fun fact, her favorite Pokemon is Wigglytuff. And the last versions of boyfriend and girlfriend I want to talk about is going to be the B-side boyfriend and girlfriend, and I saved them for last because they're pretty much unchanged. B-side is basically like an overhaul of the original Friday Night Funkin' game with new music, animation, outfits, which I do admit look dope, but they don't really change anything about the personalities of the characters. If I left out any major versions of boyfriend and girlfriend, put that down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this one on the screen here. Subscribe today to become a member of the Oris Force, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace.